Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by
True Digital Media Consulting. You're online right now and so are your customers, but marketing has to be a consistent journey. True Digital Media Consulting can help with your online ads, organic growth, and so much more. Contact us today at 832-934-4436 or visit our website at truedigitalmediaconsulting.com.
Smile Design Studios. Smile Design Studios, family and cosmetic dentistry, offers numerous treatments meant to maintain, heal, and customize your smile. Call us today at 281-969-7388 or visit our website at www.sdshouston.com.
Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789.
Hey, yo, what's good, my peeps? And welcome to Startup Masters. That's right, the illest channel on all the airways, where if you're thinking about starting a business or you have a business and perhaps you're just looking for new, innovative, progressive ideas so that you can dominate the marketplace in your said industry, you came to the right place. I'm your girl, Kalia Guillory, also known as KG. You can follow me on KOGpassion.com, where you can catch all of my social media platforms. That's right, I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram, as well as Facebook. And I am so happy that you decided to spend this a little fraction of your day with us, because we drop gym after gym after gym, and we get the dopest guests to come in. So guess what? You don't have to skin up your knee to the white meat like we did, because we want you to grow. We want you to be progressive. We want you to blossom. And we just want you to go out and change the world with your innovation. Ain't that right, G?
You know it's right. You know what it is. What's up, good people? Welcome back to Startup Masters. I'm your co-host, Gary Lee, also known as G Hawkins, of course. You can find me anywhere online, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. And we're here for another action-packed episode because we're talking about these entrepreneurial gems. We're talking about the things that people go through, that trial and tribulation along their journey that takes them to the next level. And guess what? We're having a conversation so we can help your business get to the next level.
Boom.
That's why we do what we do here on Startup Masters. So I'm excited to have this conversation. And let me keep it a buck, folks. We had to pivot. You know,
Straight up pivot.
We pivoted because that's what you do as an entrepreneur. Things get thrown at you sometimes, and you got to learn to make a quick move left or right so that you can keep the ball rolling. But most importantly, be able to deliver greatness to you all. And so we got by grace and mercy, we got partnered
Nothing but
with an entrepreneur that was not expecting to come on just yet, but had put something out in the atmosphere. And just like that, it came to fruition. And I have to give a hearty shout out to our main man, Reem, known as Sean Tillman, over at True Digital Media Consulting. You'll hear that advertisement later on. But he was able to put us in connects with the Eclectically You experience personnel, the person that's making sure that your events are right, graphics are right, everything is on that tip-top level, and that person that has a little extra behind the scenes, extra things that are cooking irons in the pot, none other than Miss Micole. I want to make sure I do it like you did it. Micole. I heard it.
But then you got the whole bird
Got the
right
whole
too.
bird with it.
She's so
Micole
cold.
Williams, talk to us today, Micole. What's going
So
on?
much. I really am excited about being here.
Mhm.
So thank you for that. And thank you for getting my name pronounced right. I appreciate
Hey,
that.
you're
too.
welcome.
That's important.
It
That
is
is important. Your
It
name
is.
is important.
Yeah,
right?
I like my name to be spelled right. I got 2 R's in my name. I need it.
We
I
know.
need.
Oh,
I need
okay.
all them R's.
Both of your auras.
So important.
auras.
Yes. Q, aura, Essa. I need them all. I need them all. So, what we like to do here on this show is talk about this entrepreneurial journey. We like to take people through this past, present, future environment that you've lived in and conceptualized, because we want to share that with the world to say, hey, this is what I've been through to get to where I'm at today. It's not just about the part of the iceberg peeking above the water, but it's about every layer that's underneath that you've had to toil with to get to the point that you're at today. And then, of course, the things that you're truly dreaming about, that passion that's going to come to fruition in the year 2020, 2030, and beyond. You ready to take this journey with us today?
I'm ready.
Good
Let's
deal.
go.
So, for those that are tuned in right now via Facebook Live, make sure y'all share this out. Share it with your family and friends. Make sure you get them involved, because we only go Facebook Live for about 15, 20 minutes or so. So, get in, ask your questions, make your comments. We want to see what you've got to say. And, of course, share it out. As I mentioned earlier, share it with everybody in your circle so that they can hop on and dive in with us with Micole right here on Startup Master. So, Micole, take us back in time when you wanted to talk about bringing an experience to people that was surrounded with this eclectic feel. Talk about this for a little bit.
As far as me, I would say a good 15 years being an only child, you have to be a little creative, and you have to be able to entertain yourself when everybody else leaves, or when you pretty much know that your friends have, brothers and sisters. You're pretty much able to come up with different things in order to occupy your time and not be bored.
Sure.
So early on, I would say, I was always invested in learning. I'm coming from a home where, even off season, my parents are teachers, so even when they're not teaching, it was kind of in that environment. So if I could get my hands on a book, I definitely would do that. But a lot of just naturally, just not necessarily anybody's influence, I just always wanted to experience different things. So whether it be maybe one day it was a game of, hey, I want a boutique today. I'm putting mannequins in the window. I'm, whatever my friends are coming in based on that, like, this is what it is today. Or the next day it could be, oh, we have a totally different experience. It's a talk show today, or it's a school today. But all that is just kind of thinking about who you are as a person. Sometimes we forget, as adults, we kind of go into this mode of we have so many different responsibilities, and we forget that kid or that child that we were. And I think sometimes those are clues as to what we need to hold on to. And I always tell people, never forget the kid, never forget the child in you, because they may be giving you clues on what's needing to happen in your adult life, because we all have different gifts. And so I didn't know what the word was back then. I didn't know that there was an actual job to be an entrepreneur. It could consist of various things. And I was always kind of shunned. And my family was very practical in a sense. And, what they saw maybe as child's play actually is a job. And so sometimes, your environment, they're wanting the best for you. Practicality, it's a great thing. But sometimes as we're going into this millennium and we're in it, we are noticing, though, that people that are well-versed and multifaceted, they're going to have, they're pretty much carrying us further and further. So I kind of draw back to those early days. And, those are the days that basically are still happening now. So all the things that I was kind of make-believing and kind of playing out and that type of thing, that's kind of what's happening. So,
Tapping into that childlike wonder, what did you create based on those experiences for Eclectically You experience?
So just the writing aspect of it as well. You know, when you're an entrepreneur, you're wearing many hats, and hopefully you like that feeling. And luckily, I do like challenges, but a great portion of it is drawing back into my journalism background.
Okay.
I studied at Prairie View and A&M University
Shout out
in
to
mass.
PV.
Yes, PVU. And so mass communications, that was my major. I minored in English, and just kind of having to still get your messages across. People don't sometimes think about it, but it is a writing job when you are putting yourself out there.
Totally.
So as a kid, I remember, you know, reading a lot, but I also liked to mimic what I was reading, and I tried to write a lot of stories. That was a big deal for me, and storytelling is a big deal for me. So just kind of from those early days and even to now, that's also what I'm doing. So that's what I always say is just interesting. With Eclectically, you experience my clients. Sometimes they want full service help, but sometimes they want, you know, specific needs,
Totally.
maybe print items or branding and that sort of thing. So, you know, that's just a little bit of how I can help them just get their messages out, whether it be a private party that they're doing or something more for the public. It kind of goes hand in hand with, yes, you're creative, but you have to know your audience as well.
Totally. And I'm guessing that along that journey, you probably hit a couple of bumps in the road, adversities. We don't call them as mistakes. We refer to them as learning opportunities.
Yeah, I like that.
What would you share with our platform, with our audience, some of those biggest aha moments that were learning opportunities that you was like, you know what, I needed to get exposed to this so I know better next time?
Right. I mean, when you are bringing that up, I can think of a bunch,
Yeah.
a bunch of obstacles.
Can't we all?
I'm like, oh, let me just narrow it down. But I think just the perspective of the challenge. If you can look at challenge as more of a neutral word, I think that's the best way to go about it. Because what I've noticed, since I have so many different obstacles, whether it be, you know, I was going into more of a male-dominated field with mass communications, entertainment types of things. The perspective is what kept me. I knew exactly what I was trying to still do. I knew how I wanted to do that, and sometimes that makes people a little uncomfortable, and you still have to draw back to, if it's a challenge, with that word being neutral, you still need to look at, if you feel any type of obstacle that you're facing, you know that shortly after, it's something great that's coming. I think that can kind of tie into every single problem that I face, whether it be with that or whether it be with, you know, hey, I'm a full-time teacher. I'm doing a lot of things. I'm trying to balance.
You're a full-time teacher.
I'm a full-time teacher. I teach English classes
Okay.
and courses. So I have to make sure that I'm balanced. I have to sometimes say, not necessarily no, but maybe, you know, just have a certain way of maintaining and self-caring and so on. But back to challenges. If you look at and embrace your challenges, you know that if you can get through this, it's a learning lesson in it. It's something greater beyond it, if you can just keep that perspective, because sometimes we forget and we get stressed out. Oh my goodness, why is this all happening? You know, I'm trying to get this book tour off the ground, or oh, I'm trying to write the book, or oh, I'm trying to do the independent film. And it's like all these things I've experienced. Obstacles come with that. You're taking on a big project. You're taking on a lot of projects that you're going to hear certain things along the way, but perspective is what's going to keep you. If you can just look at that challenge and say, oh, okay, good. I'm going through this. Okay, I know what's on the other side. I'm going to be able to learn from this. I'm going to be able to do better next time. I think that's been kind of helping me get through to the next situation.
Totally. You know what else is a critical component to what you just mentioned is you mentioned a film, you mentioned a book tour. It's marketing, right?
Yes.
And it just so happens that this portion of this episode is sponsored by our friends over at True Digital. You're online right now, and so are your customers. The question is, how do you actively reach them? Marketing has to be a consistent journey, and we're here to walk with you every step of the way. True Digital Media Consulting can help with website development, online ads, your business reputation, and organic growth on search engines. Give us a call today to discuss a customized strategy for your business at 832-934-4436, or send us an email to info@truedigitalmediaconsulting.com. Mention the Sphere to receive a free, free 30-minute strategy consultation.
That's what it is. And get that free 30 in.
That free 30.
That free
I mean,
30
listen,
goes
you
a long
can't
way.
beat that for online ads and website development.
Come on, do a little something. Something strange. Nothing strange for the change.
Nothing strange for the
But do
change.
something for the free 30.
Right.
The free 30. That's what we own. You like that? The free 30.
The strange
So
for the change.
thinking about something strange. Talk about some of those. Let's peel the layer back, as KG likes to say, on some of those strange layers of challenges that you had. Things that you had to kind of pivot around. Can you dive a little deeper into some of those roadblocks you hit along the way?
Okay, I love that word pivot. You
It's
know,
important.
because we do need to perfect that along
Come
the
on.
way. I would say, just going back to 2009,
Mm-hmm.
that was a really crucial time for me being a teacher. Now, I'm going into my 11th year teaching, but as a
Looking like a student.
11 year.
11 years.
teaching.
Looking like a
going
student.
into that, and I want to say my first 2 years teaching, oh my goodness, I didn't know if I was going to. I was glad I survived, but it was just a challenge. And like I was saying earlier, challenges come, and I didn't know if I wanted to continue to teach because it had gotten to be that stressful, that confusing as to, you know, there are politics in every field.
Sure.
And if you're, you know, going into your first full-time job, there's some things you just don't know until you're in it. And I remember being kind of hit with this, hey, this is who you are. And I didn't agree with that definition because I'm really big on making sure you know who you are, and that's a part of my brand as well. My client, I need to know who you are. And because I didn't agree, I sat there for a little bit not expecting anything to come out of the meeting. But I just felt this overwhelming sense of I had done all that I could do in that year. And to be so misunderstood towards the end of the year, and it was March. I just made this decision. Instead of going into another year feeling the way I did, which is really it was a low period, you know, because, you know, just different things were taking place. Teaching is a stressful job, and when you're putting out your best and you know that the results came out fine. So I was happy about that, the results as far as, you know, testing and things like that. But I think it's sometimes better to look at how you feel in your spirit. You have to kind of keep that in check because you're responsible for yourself at the end of the day. And I just wasn't happy. And I'm one of those people, I'm not really big on you have to be happy just to, you know, get through a situation. But at that point, it was a crucial point. And I made the decision. I said, you know, didn't say anything out loud, but I finished out that year, but I knew I wasn't coming back to that situation. It was not doing anything but kind of tearing me down, and I'm not for that. So I made a bucket list, and I want to say the first thing on the bucket list was write a book. And that was one of my childhood dreams. I wrote another childhood dream down. I wanted to be a filmmaker. I was a big Spike Lee fan. That was my hero. And I just kept going. The list went on. I didn't stop myself. I really legitimately looked at what it was that my heart desired. Being a teacher was definitely something I wanted to do, but I didn't expect to do it that early on. And I felt kind of called to do it, and I'm very obedient when it comes to, you know, God, but I just was like, I didn't understand what was happening. And so the obstacle really was just having, you know, a line of confusion, but at the same time, once I made that decision that I wasn't going to be put in a position to feel bad about, because I'm not a copycat. And sometimes in certain fields, you do have to learn how people want things done. And it's a philosophy behind it, too, because, you know, schools are just different. It may be a different school. They love you.
Yeah.
They love how you are. But I just wasn't feeling appreciated. And I look at, you know, that's what you have to make. You have to make those decisions. And those split decisions could, in the end, be a positive thing. So that summer, I buckled down. I wrote. I pulled all this stuff out that I had been writing in college that I could never finish. It was a bunch of unfinished manuscripts in a trunk, a treasure chest. And then, you know, I put it together, and that was the beginning of, you know, my career as someone who was in control of their creative aspirations and able to help others pretty much find that as well. And not necessarily find, but aid them along the way at getting their project done.
Being in control of your creative
Listen.
aspirations.
That's it right there.
Come on, folks. Y'all better learn the game out here. Y'all better learn it. But guess what? You can't learn it that much longer here on Facebook. Because we only go for about 15, 20 minutes. So for those that are tuned in right now on Facebook Livers, we love you. We support you. For those that are watching this back on Facebook Live, remember, you got to go subscribe at The Sphere. So head over to thesphere.tv/startup masters. We've got a few options for you. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, Stitcher, Spreaker, iHeartRadio. You can find us in your kitchen, on your Amazon Alexa. We're everywhere, folks. And while you're there, make sure you give us some constructive criticism. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know how our show is helping to benefit you as an entrepreneur, or if it's a show that you're sewing into other people. So write those reviews, get those stars, those likes, those dislikes. We want it all. And of course, share it out with your family, your friends, your colleagues. Share it with your loved ones, share it with your haters, share it with anyone and everyone they may need these entrepreneurial gems in their life. And last but not least, if you love the seeds we're sowing into you, sow back into us. Go to sphere.tv/donate. We've got a couple of options on the page for you. You can donate one time via the website itself, via credit card. Do a one-time love donation, and we'll definitely try to get something back to you just as a thank you gift for that. And then, of course, if you want to be a Patreon, and really take this to the next level with donating, you can do a subscription-based donation right there via Patreon. It'll take you over to our Patreon page, and we're going to get exclusive content that's just for you all that donate via Patreon. So once again, we're not cutting the show right now.
Well, hang on a second, G, because our good friend to the show, Misty Stars, popped in with a
needs
good
to get in
question.
touch
She need to
with
get
her.
in touch with
How?
Micole.
Oh.
Misty is like PR guru, so she's looking to get some information from you. If you could give it to her right now. How
Hi,
she get in touch?
Misty. As far as my number is 713-569-0535. My website, eclecticallyu.com. You can also find me. I'm really on Instagram with Eclectically You Experience. So
There it is. Misty, stop stopping our show. Jesus. No, we love you, Misty. Thank you so much. We always appreciate you. She is one of those veterans here on Startup Master. So, folks, we love y'all. We support y'all because y'all support us. So thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe and tune in right here at The Sphere. So, keeping this party rolling.
Yes.
Let's talk about where you're at today. Talk about what someone can expect to receive from Eclectically You experience, as well as let's now dive a little deeper into this author world.
Okay, so after about a decade of basically independently putting on different projects, whether they are books, fiction novels, or whether it's, a film, actually coming up with that concept, turning a book into a film independently, I basically stumbled into event planning, I would say. You know how you can dibble and dabble in certain things along the way in college? I remember, event planning, but now what I can do is basically help people not just have an event, but have an experience. That's really what I'm here to do. You can always hire someone to, put together your event, but there's a difference in a signature experience. So it stems back to 3 steps mainly: defining, planning, and designing that experience. So I take the client through that process. And so in the very beginning, let's get to know who you are. What is it that you stand for? How can we showcase this in your actual, whether it be a project or event? And like I said, last year we actually started or launched the company. The hard launch was May 2017. The soft launch was actually earlier in that year. So 2 programs, or what I would say 2 events that we're really passionate about would be, one, the first event I even did was a vision board party. And I'm really a big fan of that. Didn't know that was the name of it when, you're doing it years ago, just scrapbooking certain things and so on. But that's one where it's open to the public. It's always going to be either, we started in January, this past year we did it, or last year we did it in December, because we were trying to stay ahead of the year. And that just pretty much was an experience for us to be able to get real about what it is that we experienced last year, and we need to determine a plan for how we can do better this year. It's nothing wrong with not having it all together, but there's no excuse at not getting better. That's one thing about it. So pretty much gathering together, you know, men, women, whoever wanted to come. We had 3 parts to that event. The very first one, we got moving. We did yoga. Then we did kind of like an inspirational type of vibe. And then the third thing was making the actual vision board. So that will continue on. That's open to the public. And another one that I'm passionate about, being the book nerd that I am, I started a book club years ago, 2015, but I definitely carried it back over and revamped it for my company when I started that last year. And what we do is for busybodies. A lot of us are wearing many hats, and sometimes we don't necessarily have time to read the same book. And me being a teacher, I'm not trying to read, have required reading all the time. So it was an experience for us to stay as individuals and be able to bring in what we're reading at that time. And it's kind of like a game. We have a way where we can connect the dots and actually keep the conversation going no matter who brings in what. And it's always interesting to see what people bring in, because you have these conversations that stem from just books, but they're so enlightening and so fun, and it's always good food. So we travel around Houston, and I am a foodie, and we just, you know, it's the first of the month every Saturday. It starts at 10:30 to 12, and you can find that on our meetup page. It's BYOB, Bring Your Own Book Club for Busybodies.
I love that.
So
I like
those
the
are the-
concept and the title.
Awesome.
It's really dope. I mean, you're wearing a lot of hats. You got a book hat on, you got a meetup organizer hat, then you teacher hat, then filmmaker hat, wedding planning hat, events, projects, vision board. Like, you wearing many hats. So my question to you, Micole, is how are you sewing back into self? How are you ensuring that your output, your input is outweighing your output, that you can protect that creative space?
I love that question. I am a fan of power naps. That's what I do. I come
Up top,
home.
boom.
Sometimes I just have to crash, especially
Do
on
we have a boo sound effect?
Wednesdays. I don't know
Boy.
what it is.
What you mean?
Power naps.
They're scientifically proven to help you with creativity.
I wake up so frustrated. I'll
Yes.
be so
Because
mad.
you're sleeping too long.
They're
But
too
if you
tight.
only sleep between 15 to 20 minutes,
There you
Who
go.
does that? That's
It works.
That's
Yeah.
disrespectful. That's
15.
disrespectful to my couch, to my pillow. No, let me
Hey.
I'm just joking. But keep going though.
But no, she's right. 15 minutes. It can't be too long. And then also there's another one that's like a mini one. You can do like 15 seconds. And you can just
I don't
sit
know
up.
about
No,
that
I'm
one. I
serious.
don't
It,
know about
it saves me sometimes. You sit up and you just have to close your eyes. And I mean, that's not the only, thing to being able to self-care, but I don't make any excuses for that. Rest, I do get that. And I do have certain rituals where I just, I rarely just sit down. There's a joke in my family and just a joke with friends. I rarely don't sit down. If I have the energy to do it, and if it makes sense to me in my heart, I'm going to do it. And if I feel tired, I'm going to not do it. It's just as simple as that. And I think I write a lot down. I'm kind of old school. I will actually write out my schedule. I will write out my week. I will write out my day by the hour. And that keeps me in compliance with what I need to do. And then I can also see what I want to do, if I can factor that in or not. But just staying balanced. It is a struggle, but it's possible, So it's just a matter of, just making sure your calendar is right, making sure you get those power naps. 15 minutes, they work. 15 seconds too.
Gee,
You're not a
sleeping
fan
too
yet?
long.
Now, how long are your naps? I'm just
I
wondering.
don't. I try. Well, see.
Do you even take naps?
Well,
See.
here's the thing.
See, I mean,
If I nap, then
You
I
out.
That's
well,
it.
I may get, and so during the week I don't have time to nap, right? So if
Yeah.
I get home at 10 o'clock, if I try to nap, I should be going to bed, and so
Yeah.
I may fall asleep on the couch trying to watch Westworld or something like
Mm-hmm.
that, and I wake up 2 hours later and I go get into bed. But on a Sunday, I may get an opportunity to do a nap, but it's usually a couple of hours,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not a short nap per se, but it's not an overly long nap either.
Right.
2 hours, that's pretty long.
That
think so
is.
for a nap?
I
Yeah,
think
that's
that
why
might
you wake
be
up
a-
groggy.
a rest
That's I
time.
don't know. That sounds-
Try it. Just try it. Just try it.
30 minutes.
And those
15,
15,
20.
15
15,
seconds
20.
can save you.
Disrespectful.
I mean, I have been power napping since college, and that thing. I'm surprised you ain't power nap when you was online. Like you,
kid.
Ooh.
Nah. But ask my
know how you
LBs. I
survive,
slept before set. I would sleep on the couch while they were practicing, and I would wake up and like, all right, let's time to roll. We roll because I was, I was LP, and I'm the tail, so we just rolling. Yeah, we rolling. Yeah, we rolling.
Cool.
So
I was number 9, so I was kind of like.
I would have pegged you for like a ace.
or deuce.
We were
one or two.
We had
Damn.
the
It was 50 of
Munchkins
these
and the
cats.
Amazons. It was just a definite, like at 25, it just went like this. It was just
Wow.
a definite drop.
That happens.
Well, you know what makes me naps make me smile.
They do.
They really make me happy. And one of the things that we really, as entrepreneurs and even as corpreneurs, people who are thinking about having a business, is our smile. Like people, oftentimes you remember, like, man, they had a really good smile, or they remember if those teeth weren't quite right. And this portion of the show will help you if you've been struggling in that area, because this portion of the show is sponsored by Smile Design Studios. Smile Design Studios Family and Cosmetic Dentistry offers numerous treatments meant to maintain, heal, and customize your smile. If you're not sure what you need, don't worry. Dr. Ellis and her team are happy to meet with you to go over your patient history and goals and offer you professional recommendations. Let Smile Design Studios make you smile. Call us today at 281-969-7388 or check out our website at www.Houston.com to schedule your appointment today. All new patients receive a free gift and $50 off your first dental treatment. Smile Design Studios look forward to providing excellent care for you and your family. Shout out to Dr. Ellis, who's also a host on Docs. So if you guys are a little bit more intrigued about what Dr. Ellis is doing, go and check out on this platform, Docs. So we go back into, what's really going on with Micole, with Eclectically You experience, because there are many moving parts within that experience. What systems do you have on rinse and repeat? You mentioned you're old school, you write everything down, but are you tapping into technology to help you be efficient and effective so that you're not, oh gosh, I forgot to put this meeting in my invite, or I forgot to send off this proposal? What are you using to help you be more effective?
I keep it simple to some extent. I am tech savvy when I need to be, especially like with editing and so on. But yeah, I actually like Google Docs. It helps me not just only write different manuscripts, but it also, because it automatically saves whatever it is that you're doing. I think that I can open it up anywhere, and that helps, because I remember when I wrote my first manuscript a couple of years ago, hey, if something happened to your computer,
done.
Oh my goodness, I had a lot of moments with that. And so about 2 years ago, I've kind of transitioned more to doing that than, Word. But both of those. And as far as, graphics and things like that, try different things. I still use, not necessarily Publisher, but InDesign. And then there are a lot of online ones that you can do for free that, look just as nice. And then as far as, designing for like a social media type thing, I love Canva. I love Moldiv. There are a couple of them where you can have them on your phone. And if, like today, I was so, excited about finding out about this today, and, just kind of whipped up something that, it's on your phone. You can use it to put 2 and 2 together.
Sweet.
So there are some things in place, but I'm always looking for better ways to be more efficient. But I like to keep things simple. I don't like to have on my end, a lot of different things to look at on screen. Sometimes it's like, ugh, it's time to put the phone down and that type of thing, and let somebody else. And that's one thing about the future, just growth with that. I'm looking forward to growing the company to where, there can be, even if it's small, it is a division for that. But yeah, have to kind of handle a lot of those things.
That's what's up. So talk.
Speaking of.
Well. I want to talk a little bit about the book situation, and so talk a little bit about what you're bringing to the table with that author hat? What is it that people are expecting for you? Is it ready to go now? Can people go get it? Like, let's dive deep into that.
Well, in 2009, and it's coming up to be like the 10-year reunion or anniversary for me as a writer.
Okay.
I actually wrote within that time frame, 2 novels.
Okay.
So my books are fiction, and I always ask people, do you want the bright side or the dark side? To me, Eclectically, you experience is that bright side. It's
Sure.
very inspirational. It's very light and so on. But then as a teacher, as a person who worked even before teaching in different environments, different fields, because like with, mass media and so on, you see a lot of stuff. And I, from a journalistic standpoint, wanted to look at the topical issues and in a fun, satirical kind of way, paint this picture as if this is what we are right now. There are some problems, but there are some solutions. So my first book is titled Tangled Web of True Love Tales. And you can get, all of the books on Amazon. You can get them on Barnes & Noble, or you can get them on my other website. This is a separate website. It's my first and last name, Micole, M as in Mary, ICOLE, Williams.com. You'll learn about these 7 women who represent the 7 deadly sins. And they have their own love tales, but they're also love/hate tales. So with satire, you're always poking fun at serious issues, but you're really trying to, improve the state of whatever it is. So relationships, that's what they are. That's what the book is talking about, the modern day relationship and how we are sometimes in trouble, whether you are a single person, whether you are engaged, whether you're married, whether you're divorced, whether you're a widow. I mean, there are different stages of relationships, and then you have it's complicated types. So the book pretty much is, it's dark, but it's funny. It's a romantic dramedy, so to speak. And so the first one just introduced all 7 women, and you get to learn they are all from Houston. So you'll start seeing different streets and different places and different people in them.
That's cool.
But the characters are fictional, and they are based on the symbols. So I love allegory, and I love what you can do with that. And so the second book, I actually was trying something new. The trilogy is started with my first character, Dion Duvall. She is the nucleus of the group. She's the diva. She has it going on, but she has some internal struggles that she really needs to get in check, because in the book, she does die. And I don't really go into is it real or is it metaphorical. I just let people determine what they're reading for themselves, and then they see at the end what's going on. But she does have a death, and she has an opportunity. Sometimes people are not so blessed to live, as she's seeing her life flash before her eyes. She's seeing some things she never knew. And so all of my characters are, because I do understand it is a struggle. If you're trying to be somebody in life, you're going to be hit with a bunch of stuff. I don't care if you're just going to be hit from the inside, from the outside, all different corners. So I write about people overcoming. I write about, yes, there's a struggle, but there is a way out. And so she actually, along with the other, I'm writing right now this summer, the rest of them. But I'm giving myself time too. But they really encounter a divine, intervention. That's how they're able to get out of whatever stew that's cooking for them. So Dion is pretty much starting out the trilogy. I'm really excited because recently, just out of nowhere in June, I thought I was going to be sitting on my couch all summer, but that was totally not the situation. I mean, a book tour just kind of came out of nowhere, and I've been taking advantage of it.
That's
so
awesome.
that is really what I'm doing, along with helping clients with their stuff. So.
I would say book tours are mad important because you're getting your material out there, you're promoting yourself, you're advertising the things that you have. And for those that are looking for advertising opportunities, we've got a few right here at the Sphere. So, are you starting your business or looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at the Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue coupled with your strategic ad is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send us an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv. So yeah, book tours are important, KG.
Book tours are extremely important. And you said something earlier. I want to just circle back real quick to it. Is that you're looking to convert some of your books into film. So are any of the books on the tour eventually down the road we could check it at a movie theater? Like what's the vision for that?
Well, in 2009, when I published the first book, Tangled Web of True Love Tales, I was very fortunate, and I'm into writing things out, writing them and making them plain. And I'll never forget, I posted something on Facebook not knowing when it was going to happen. I just changed it from author. I put book to film project. Didn't know when the film was taking place, but it took place like the next year. I was able to, when I was casting for just one short film, it ended up being that they were really invested. They were talented actors coming from different places in Houston, and they were really into the story. And they were really into the fact that I was writing, directing, and producing it. And I was very upfront with each and every one of them. I was like, the budget is almost non-existent.
Right.
This is a
Self-funded.
small
Self-funded.
budget film, and this is what I'm setting out to do. But like I said, I only had one short film pretty much set up. But the people I met at that first casting, when I say, they said, let me know if you do anything else because we are down. And I went and wrote like 6 more shorts for each of my characters. And that was what was actually screened at River Oaks Theater. So I had like a one night only. I had to pull together this concept. How can I, do this? And, it was a couple of months after, I want to say, because remember I said I did stop teaching. So funds were totally changing. I was working about 3 part-time jobs and still kind of trying to maintain the house note that I had already set up the second year. So it's a lot of pressure. And I know that a lot of people thought I was kind of crazy. Like, why would I resign, in my second year? I just bought this house and so on. But God had other plans. And I just was like amazed at, how writing book to film and knowing the heart behind it, and knowing when I got confirmation from the actors, people I did not know, that they were so invested in a project. Because sometimes as, Black people, we fight to see representation of ourselves. And I think that's what I was noticing. Everybody was really happy to see women of color being the lead of the story. And so they were really invested in that. Like, wow, you're doing this for women of color. Okay. So that was what really kind of allowed for the next thing. But when I say I just was only trying to do one film, but was able to do 7. And when we screened that was a wonderful feeling and I was really adamant, like, I want to sit back and watch this. Like, I don't know when this is going to happen again. So let me sit in the very back. I'm going to experience this. Because like I said, my hero was Spike Lee, and I just was so amazed with his projects and how thought-provoking they were. But at the same time, they evoked so much emotion, and they were well done. And so, with no budget, something happened. So I look at like, wait a minute, just imagine if I had an actual budget. So we made it happen, and it's on, now it's on YouTube. Some of the clips are on YouTube. So I just always let people know it was an independent project with no budget. The only thing I did really buy was I did eventually buy Final Cut because I was familiar with it in high school in a media academy. High Tower High, people. And I edited raw footage pretty much, and that was what I bought. And then I also bought donuts every time. That was the only thing I really could afford, was for craft services, donuts and fruit, something like that each time. And I would say we worked for about 4 months, and I couldn't believe it actually got done. Every day that we filmed, I was like, I know this is not going to be finished. I had started some projects in not high school, but college. We did some short films, and I was like, it didn't get finished. A lot of stuff is just lying on the cutting room floor, and
It's not ready.
It
The
just
time
was
is not right.
exactly. But it was still a good experience. But when I was even going through doing my own film, I was like, I just don't think this is gonna be done. I don't think it's gonna. Everyone's schedule aligned. It was just amazing to me, and we were there.
That's how things get lined up sometime.
Yeah.
Speaking of alignments and things getting done, real quickly as we wrap this up, talk about what's aligned or in your vision. What do you have in your sights for the year 2025, 2030 with both or all three, the filmmaking side, the novelist side, as well as with Eclectically you? What's coming down the pipe? What can people expect?
I'm very big on meditation. Sometimes I don't have all the answers, but I do know I'm definitely always going to do that. Meditate, reflect. And for me personally, my desires are more so based on growing the company, helping as many people as I can have their signature experience. So private events are still going to be something that I do, help others with. As far as my own company, I would say growing it, like I mentioned earlier, definitely want to expand and just make sure that we can help as many people as possible. And then as far as the writing aspect of it, just continuing to hone my craft. That's very important to me. I tell my students all the time, you can never be at the level to just stop, growing. And if I could just, continue to get better at writing, getting more feedback from people that are buying the books from the book tours. And I do say to people, I will not be, people ask me sometimes, are you going to do another film? No, not me independently. I won't be doing another film independently, but I will definitely, allow myself to seek representation so I can, on a larger level, do the films the way that I would like to. Because, sometimes you just have to do what you can.
In that moment.
Right.
Yeah.
But, it is a huge undertaking, and I think the writing itself deserves, somebody else to come in and help with that. So
right, that makes sense. You know, we delegate so that we can sometimes innovate.
I like that.
It happens. I just made that up. It's off the cuff.
That's good. That's
Tweetable
good
stuff, huh?
Hashtag that, bro.
Might want
Delegate
to
to
rewind that one.
Yeah, I may have to use that. Hey, after show. No, so one final question for you today, based on the things you've went through. Now let's somehow walk in reverse, right? So let's take back every chapter you've written in these books, right? Both books. Let's take back every client you've met, every event you've planned, every book club meeting that has transpired. Let's take back any and all representations you've had from the Eclectically you experience, the eye candy, so to speak. I think I saw you reference that at one moment. Taking you all the way back to the early 2000s, all the film work that you've done, the donuts and fruit that you supplied for folks, taking it all the way back, but leaving you with the experiences and sliding you some seed money. How would you rebuild this empire that you've started on? How would you rebuild it in a way this time around that you didn't do the first time?
That is a great question. I actually kind of grapple with that a lot. Like, what would you do differently? And I still think
money.
Oh, okay. Thank you for throwing that back out there.
Yeah. You got the seed money.
If you have that, when I say I am all for independent, projects, but it's nothing like having a machine to get your story out there to the masses. So I think you can't go wrong with having capital at the beginning and being able to diversify and being able to delegate and being able to make sure somebody else is the expert at that, because trial and error does take some time, and what could have happened in maybe a shorter period of time, and experience is valuable. It can happen faster. I think this is an awesome time to get stories out there, and not just from everybody, but just particularly people of color. I think that it's an awesome time for that. So I think that would be the difference, is instead of I've never been one to want the one woman show in regards to having to spearhead a project. But as a person that is full-time teaching, sometimes you have to make those. You have to pivot, so to speak. So I think that would have been great to be able to full-fledged just put not just only your heart and soul in it, because that's already there, but be able to, like we were talking about earlier, rest.
Yeah.
And be able to let it fall in the hands of others who know what they're doing and can carry your baby further. That's a blessing. That's a blessing.
Always. Always.
You
Good
can release
folks.
what you was an area of
Yeah.
opportunity. The skill set ain't really
Yeah.
mine, but hey,
Hey,
it's yours.
there it
Right.
Let the genius be the genius.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a different type of blessing. So
Yes, indeed. And if you're not a genius, be eclectic, folks. Why not? Eclectically You experience with
Yes, we can
Micole
help you.
Williams. Thank you so much
Thank
for what you brought to the
you.
table today, because you've been through the toils, the trials, the tribulations, because you've had to do it on your own. Donuts and all. We would like to officially coin you a startup master. Please let the good people know that are tuned in right now, whether they're listening in their car, they're watching this, or from their couch on Apple TV. Let them know where they can reach you at and contact you if they're looking to get your services.
thank you once again for this opportunity. Like I was stating earlier, 713-569-0535 is the phone number for our company, 713-569-0535. And as far as our website, that's a great way for you to fill out, kind of what you need help with. On the Contact Us page, you'll find eclecticallyu.com. Go to Contact Us, fill that out. I'll get back with you. And then also Instagram, keep up with us there. Instagram, Eclectically You Experience, as well as Facebook. I have 2 Facebook pages. I have Eclectically You Experience, as well as my first and last name, Micole Williams. That's the writer page, and I would love to see you there. I'll follow you back there. LinkedIn, I'm on LinkedIn as Micole Williams. I'm trying to think of anything else. YouTube, we do have our YouTube channel, and that is Micole Williams. Yeah, I think that. I hope I got them out there. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of.
Give it all. Give it all.
I can't forget the way to get the books. MicoleWilliams.com. So the writer website is a little separate. You'll see some, parallels, but MicoleWilliams.com in order to get the 2 books. And I will. I also have this touring schedule up there. I'll be at a couple of bookstores in the area. Would love to meet you there as well.
Dopeness. Well, thank you again, Miss
And
Williams.
one
We
more
definitely
thing.
appreciate. Sure, go ahead.
Austin, if anyone's in Austin during the NAACP convention, I would love to see you there on that Tuesday of the convention. I will be in Austin, so people in that area.
Very nice. What day is that? Tuesday the what?
Tuesday the 21st, I want to say. I'm so sorry.
Okay, of July.
Yes, of
Okay.
July of next month. Yes.
Gotcha.
Oh, thank you for putting that. I was wrong. Not the 21st. 7/17.
So
So
the
that
17th.
Tuesday, 2 to 4. I would love to see you at the NAACP annual convention.
And that's in Austin, folks. Austin, Texas, for those that are flying in or driving in.
Yes.
Good
yes.
deal. Well, good luck to you. Hopefully the book will sell out. We'll make it a bestseller and all those
That's a
things.
good
Because that's important.
That
That's
is
it.
important.
We need to support.
Run out
That's
of
what
that
we
stock,
do here at the
man.
Sphere.
Yes.
We support. KG, where can the good people reach you at, my dear?
Good people, easiest way to catch me is at the website, kogpassion.com. There you can grab all of my handles on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, as well as IG. What about you, G?
And of course, anywhere online, folks, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. If you got any questions about what we do here at the show, shoot us an email, startupmasters@thesphere.tv, or hit us across any social media platforms at the Sphere TV. Use our coveted hashtag StartupMasters, and we will definitely get with you. This has been another
one.
eclectic episode. We will see you all next time. Take care, folks.
Thank you.
Peace.